Hello and welcome back. Well, in this video, which I hope to make shorter, kind of just go over the higher priced books, or the highest priced books, I should say, that I have, that are obviously, most of them have been listed for a while. They are higher priced. They're going to have to get just that right person to come in. And some of these books I just bought on just their uniqueness and weirdness. So I'll start with these here, mainly because they're the highest priced. Now, if you do a search on Abe Books or Biblio, one of the two, someone has a set. I want to say it's the 1840 set, or whichever. They're priced at $10,000. I couldn't find anything listed anywhere in regards to any specific sales. Now, I have gone to other YouTube channels that have nothing to do with resale. They are just more political commentary. And there are a couple people that do have these books on their shelves. These books here do obviously have some foxing, Foxing. As soon as that starts, it's really not a whole lot you could do. It's going to be like that. And it's not going to degrade horribly, but in, let's just say, 100 years from now, that foxing, if it's not treated sooner, will start to get much worse. So I got these, and I mentioned something about a Black's Law dictionary. I want to say it was a 4th edition. So I got these, and as a matter of fact, that's where I'll go today. So I got these here, and that Black's Law, and a couple of other books from a place in Streetsboro, not too far from where I grew up, a couple towns north from where I grew up in Portage County. And I paid maybe $20 for these here, and $5 for the Black's Law. The Black's Law sold for $174 pretty quickly, maybe a week. These have newer picture. Well, this one is a newer picture, but these I got in March. I brought the price down. These I also had on the priority advertising promotion, which was cost me like $3 to $5 a day. I ran that for probably, the eBay rep called me. It had been summertime, and I probably ran it for maybe 3 months. Now, granted, the view count went up, and let me explain that. For those who don't know, in regards, this is the priority advertising. So when you look at other listings, if you open up a listing, it's going to show you like and similar listings down here. If you pay for the priority placement, I forget exactly, I know it's priority something, your listing is going to show up in somebody else's listing, and it's going to be in a carousel like this here. So you can click this one item. I just now cost this person like 30 cents. And you see here, here's some more. Right? So whoever has this one right here, if I click on this, it's going to cost them like 30 cents or 50 cents, however much it is, accumulatively throughout the day. To pay that for this here just isn't worth it. So, in my opinion. So anyhow, enough on that specific book. Let me close that one. Go here to the other books. This is another one that's just very, very unique. I want to say I got this at Savers because I think that there's a tear in the back of the bind. But this book, I did call Hazleton, wherever this is at, Hazleton, PA. I did talk to their historian or whomever. They gave me a little bit of information about the printing press, and that was about it. They weren't really too involved a lot in information of the person. But I just think it's a really neat book. It is signed. It has all different types of type sets and fonts and stylings. Maybe I need to add more pictures to it. I just listed it high maybe someone will think it's interesting. I do need to add more pictures if I want to get that, but it is a very unique book. I don't think it'll ever really sell. It just kind of stays listed. Price comes down, but it does get views, every once in a while. These here, again, these are ones that I got in that box of clock books. Now, I mentioned that quite a bit, and if you've looked at some of the clock books that I've sold and some of the ones that I have listed, you're like, how big was this box? This box accumulatively was probably, best way how to say it, was like 2 banker boxes full. But it was a bigger box, one large box, like one of those really, really strong cardboard boxes. And I just packed it with all different kinds of books. And it was like $5. So I wasn't going to turn down. It's either $2 a grocery bag, no matter how much you pack it. But I just packed this entire box and they charged me $5 for it. So these were also in there, and I have no idea who, at that point, had no idea who Albert Krehort is. Apparently, he's a physicist from the Cleveland area, and this is signed. Actually, most of the books here, I believe, that I have in this lot, I did have them up individually, and one sold, I don't remember, it was like $50, $60. And that one specifically because it was co-authored by someone else. So these are really, really interesting in electromagnetism and strange mathematical treatises for steady states. So physicist books. So this is a very interesting collection of books that I got. These I probably have, I don't know, 20 cents in. So those are allotted. I just relisted these. They were up for, I want to say maybe, it was over 2 months. And I think it had enough views for me to take it down. This is another one of those interesting books. This is a genuine first edition. And the specific first edition. All right. So the specific topic, category, and author, his books garner 80 to over $200. This is the first edition. I'm asking quite a bit more for it. Will it sell for that? More likely not. Will I get closer to 300? More likely, but this is just one of those, it's a higher priced item that you just list, you put it up there every couple months, or however you do your pricing, you bring it down until somebody comes around. There's always the too late aspect, the hindsight aspect on, like, well, if I list this book at $100 and I'm not sure because I don't think it'll sell for $200 and it sells instantly for $100, then you got to kick yourself in the bum and be like, well, I could have listed it for $200 and just waited. There are some instances, for whichever reason, why people would want to just hurry up and flush something out. But after a while, you just get stuff and like you hold on to it. You let it sit. You let it ride. Long tail, whatever moniker you want to give it. This, speaking of that store in Streetsboro that I went to, this is where I got this one as well, obviously in a different time frame because this is July. And this is also the same store where I got the Packard books that the guy left me a negative feedback to complain about the damage that was obviously shown in the pictures. eBay didn't want to do anything with that. That was prior to them changing their criteria for seller protections for feedback. So this is another one of those. It is signed, numbered. These do sell for right around this range, anywhere from 200 to 300. I've had it since July, and when the 2 month mark, maybe I did just recently relist this one. No, I did not. When the 2 month mark at least rolls around. So when I say that I do pull downs, so if a item has been listed for 3 months and has at least 3 views, I will click on the view count. If that view count is 5, 6, 8, depending on how long it's been around. And the value of the item will depend if I take it down. Per se, if something is a $50 item, it's been up for 6 months and has 4 views, I'm not too pressed about bringing that $50 item down. If something is a $200 item and has 5 views in 2 months, I'm going to take it down. And I'm going to price it a little cheaper, roughly 5% or a little less, and see if that garners that attention. But back to the books. This is another one picked up at Savers. I've had this one for a while. I don't think if it has a date stamp. It does not have a date stamp. This is a real thin book. So this would be one of those, for why ever the person would want it, considering its damage. But the bigger part of it, that this is it's signed. Best wishes. I want to say that sincerely. Ann Butler. And you can just look at the texture of this paper. You can tell that's completely different from, obviously 40 or more than 40 years ago, 70 years ago. So these are just more of the higher end, higher price books. This is just a lot. Actually, I got these. Somebody threw them away. They were here at a dumpster, and there was just a big stack of these railroad books. And these are just it's a bunch of magazines kind of butted together with a spine, a bunch of spines. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these different magazines pieced together. Somebody's going to want these for advertising or something like that. Is it going to, and I've had these for a while, probably 6, 8 months. Somebody's going to want these, eventually, but these probably weigh 20 pounds combined. So it's very, very bulky. This is another one of those books I brought up a couple times, The Diamonds of South Africa. This book varies in price, anywhere from $130 to over $200. So this is another one of those. I got this in August. So if you've listened to any of my other videos about getting these clock and watch books, this was one of those books as well. It was in the big box I just described. And this one, and it's very clean for its age, for 120 years old. It's a very clean book. Someone will want it eventually. They do sell, just not a fast selling book. This is another interesting one. I got this at a Savers. This is a ski resort, and wherever it's at, and you could look this up online and you could see that the book itself was available obviously at one point. But if you want it now, I think they were like $60. If you want it now, no one else has it. It's not on Abe. It's not on A to Z. It's not on Bibli. It's nowhere else. So if you want this specific book, and it has in the past garnered some interest. So this has been relisted, and whenever the date was showed here, so it has been relisted. I'm gonna go down here, just some more stranger books. I'm getting too involved in those. This one here, the only reason why I got this, because there's another one listed. None have ever sold on eBay over 3 years. Well, it can't, because it's only a year old, but none have sold. I think A to Z had them for around that price. It's just one of those, pay $2 for and just wait. If it never sells in 3 years, throw it out. Neverending Story, whenever that one, another one of these, that's one or maybe two of this exact one has sold. So this is going to be a while. Actually, it has garnered some attention. This book here sells anywhere from $100 to $300. The Robert Heinlein, I brought him up in a different video. This is an X library. Yes, X libraries can still sell. Obviously, not going to be as much due to the the quality and the condition. Some religious books, some other oddball books in that degree. Rosemary's Baby, the second edition of Oak Island Mysteries, the math books, Warhammer lot. So just a quick rundown and consensus of some of the higher priced books that I have. Some I'll be sitting on for a while. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks.